Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. In the last episode, I was talking about my favorite and least favorite smallmouth bass lakes, and I had said I would do the same for both largemouth and spotted bass. So today I'm going to kick it off with let's do the spotted bass. You know, spotted bass are really one of my favorite fish to catch of all species. They fight so hard and they're super aggressive when they want to be aggressive. To me, they seem a little bit like smallmouth in terms of when they're active, they are like on fire, but they're not as temperamental as smallmouth, in my opinion. I love targeting them. You know, I've got the Dirty Jigs Matt Steffen Guppy head, which I designed to put small swim baits on. It's an absolute killer for spotted bass, and that really is one of the reasons I think I love fishing for them. It's a great bite. It's a lot of light lines, so good fights. Man, spotted bass, I wish we had them up north. They make it up to kind of like I'd say central Illinois range, and then they kind of peter off after that. So I'll start with my three most overrated spotted bass lakes in the country. Again, there's no order to these, and I'm sure some people are gonna, laugh at me, and some people are gonna say, yeah, he's right. But it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to upset anybody. So here they are in no order. The first one, Table Rock Lake. Table Rock to me is an outstanding fishery in that you can catch all three bass species, and you can catch decent size of all three species. But I just don't feel like the spotted bass there grow to a decent size. You know, you can catch a lot of 12 to 14 inchers, but after that they kind of peter off in size. And I feel like they can fool you in a tournament there. You can think you're on a really good bite and catch 30 spotted bass all day long, but you'll come in with 8 pounds. Like, it's not what I would consider a spotted bass fishery that I would make it a special trip for. I like Table Rock as a lake, as a whole, and I like being able to catch all three fish on any cast, but it's not a place I would go to chase spotted bass. Another lake similar to Table Rock is a lake that we went to last year, and it's Lake Martin. A blast to fish, like absolutely full of spotted bass. And I bet you I caught, I'm going to say in the 3 days of practice and the 3 tournament days, I probably caught 150 spotted bass. And I want to say I had 4 fish that were legitimately 2 pounds or bigger. It's full of fish. You can pull up and catch 5 or 6 fish on 5 or 6 casts in a row, but they're like 12 to 14 inches. I mean, they're just skinny little rails. It's a fun place to go to fish for. If you had a family with a bunch of little kids, it would be a good lake to take them to, but it is not a body of water that I would make a special trip to go to. And it's sure, when you look at the tournament results, everyone has a limit, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard to break 10 pounds. And usually in order to do that, you're chasing some largemouth and getting a big largemouth bite mixed in. So it's similar to Table Rock in that you can catch a lot of fish, but it's just not. To me, they're not the spotted bass fisheries that people say that they're some of the best in the world. They're not, in my opinion. My last spotted bass fishery that I think is a little bit overrated is the Lake Cumberland. Again, similar to the other 2 lakes, there's a decent spotted bass population there, but it's hard to break a 2-pounder. And I'm not going to make a special trip to a body of water if I'm chasing spotted bass to Lake Cumberland. Again, it's just kind of one of those things. When you go there, if you're targeting spotted bass, you're not fishing for the right fish if you're fishing a tournament. And for me, that's kind of how all 3 of those lakes were. It seemed like if you want to do well in those tournaments, you need to target either smallmouth or largemouth. So those three lakes, even though they're fun to fish, they're just not what I would consider a lake I'd want to go to, like I said, on a vacation or fish a tournament there. So those are my underrated lakes. My three best spotted bass lakes, or my favorite spotted bass lakes. I'm sorry, yeah, so those were my overrated, my three favorite lakes. I'm going to start off with, let's go with Lake Hartwell. Lake Hartwell is a lake that I think was pretty well not under the radar in terms of number of spotted bass, but until recently, I don't think there were a lot of people that knew the size of the spotted bass that were in that lake. You know, I've had, I've fished tournaments there for the last 10 years now, and that is one lake where I've seen, you know, the giant spotted bass every time I've gone there. And until recently, this last Bass Open that was there in August, I believe, it was kind of I'm not going to say it was unknown. I feel like it was unknown to the nation, to the country. The people who lived in that area, I think, had a pretty good idea as, you know, to the population of spotted bass, but it's just a really good quality fishery, great average size with a lot of really big, true trophy class spotted bass. Lewis Smith Lake is another lake in northern Alabama. Absolutely great spotted bass fishery. Lots of numbers, lots of big fish. You know, they're just great caliber fish. They're a different strain. They're not that Kentucky Lake strain or whatever the Kentucky spots are. They're like the Coosa River spots. They get bigger. They're on those blueback herring. And man, you can catch a pile of them there. If you get into the right spot, you can catch an absolute pile on Lewis Smith. And my number one, my favorite spotted bass lake to fish in the country is Lake Lanier, just outside of Atlanta. That place has the overall best average size and has a lot of them. And if you go during the right time, they are some of the fattest spotted bass that I've ever seen. I mean, it's unbelievable how big and healthy those fish are. You can, you know, legitimately catch, you know, 15 pounds isn't anything special there in spotted bass. 20-pound bags happen, 25-pound bags happen. It's a great spotted bass fishery. Highly recommend. It is highly has high amounts of boat traffic, especially during the summer months, so it can be kind of a pain that way, but well worth the trip to Lake Lanier. So then that leaves me with my three trophy potential lakes, and so I'm going to say Lake Lanier again because you can truly catch absolute giants in that place. Like I said, it's my favorite lake to go, but there are 6+ pound spots swimming around there. It's truly an incredible fishery. The next would be the Coosa River chain. So really anything that's connected to the Coosa River and the Warrior River, that whole area, man, they produce lots of 6-pound spotted bass, like in that Warrior River and in parts of the Coosa River system. It's just it's an incredible fishery. It's not real well known outside of that northern Alabama area, but they catch lots and lots of 20+ pound bags. I've heard stories of 30-pound bags of spotted bass. It can be done there. It's an amazing area for spotted bass. The last is no secret to the bass fishing community, but probably the best trophy potential spotted bass lake in the country, Bullard's Bar in California. No other place you can go catch 10-pound spotted bass, let alone world record spotted bass. I mean, the world record now has been broken multiple times over the last handful of years. I do think it's somewhat on the decline, but that doesn't mean that the potential is still not there for world records. They catch absolute giants, 8, 9, 10-pounders regularly, and I just hope it can continue. Hopefully pressure and and whatever the food chain is that's causing all that continues, we'll see in the future. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a new world record spotted bass again. I'd love to get out there to spend some serious amount of time chasing one. It's an awesome fishery. So those are my spotted bass lakes. If you've got some that you think I need to fish, or you've got some that you think I need to avoid, please leave a comment. Let me know. They're definitely one of my favorite fish to chase. They're just super cool to me. And I'm looking forward to trying to catch a few this year at a couple of lakes we're going to. But guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks.